I'm like, forget it. I don't want any part of that. It's too much. 613. Now what?
The thing is that
I can't even try to do the top 10. Listen, Israeli guy told me I'm having trouble with the top 10.
Yeah.
Just don't tell me about 613. And I was really serious about it. I was talking to him about how to keep kosher. This is like, the top 10's enough for me, and I have trouble with it.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. I have trouble with it. Seriously, on many levels,
The thing is, in our generation, we don't, even if we want to do, maybe 70% we can't do.
Right,
Nope,
exactly.
we don't have Begad Mikdash.
Don't have Beis Hamikdash.
We don't. That's already in itself. Half of the mitzvahs is just for Kohanim.
Right.
Then we don't have the land of Israel technically. Most of the mitzvot right now we can't do.
Right,
But you can do it b'machshava v'dibur. You can do it with thought and with speech.
Right.
That's why I said before to the lady who asked me, each person, the Arizal says, each person has to come back to this world at least 3 times to complete all 613 b'machshava, dibur v'maseh. Speech, thought, speech and action. So in our generation, most of the mitzvot we can do, but we can do it in thought and speech. That's how we do it with studying. So if you want to be smart, you study as much as you can, because then you're covering all these 613, at least in your thought and in your speech. The thing is that the more you do in this world, the greater your connection to Hashem is, the greater your reward is in the world to come. But the basic of the basic, you have to keep kosher, keep Shabbos, put tefillin on, give a little bit of charity, study a little bit of Torah. Then that's the basic of the basic. Of course, the top 10 are the most important. If you can cover the top 10, you pretty much covered most of it, because each one of the 10 branch out to another 500. So obviously, you would want to strive to get to as many as possible, because you can do half the stuff, but your work, your serving to Hashem is what's called lo b'shlemut. It's not completed. It's half. It's almost like having a part-time job. So you go on a job, you make money, you get money to pay the bills, you show up every day to work, but it's a part-time job. If you go full-time, your salary is greater. You have more opportunity to get promoted. You have a better office space, whatever. I'm trying to picture it. So same thing with serving Hashem. You can have a part-time job. The question is, going back to the parable that I gave with the wedding, it all depends where you want to sit. You want to sit in the crowd, you want to sit next to the king, you want to sit outside. It's not so easy doing everything.
I look at
No,
it. I'm giving an argument. I hope you don't mind.
No, in essence, you have to do the mitzvah for the sake of the mitzvah.
Yeah.
Not to, like you said, to get the reward. And if you're doing it, you're missing something. Our sages say doing a mitzvah in such a way that you're getting it to get a reward, it's like a body without a soul. You did the mitzvah, but it doesn't have the soul. But the thing is, the sages say, better to do it with the kavanah of getting the reward. Shemitoch shelo lishma yavo lishma. So if he does it without the right purpose, but because he did it with no purpose, he will end up doing it with the right purpose. So because a lot of people say, I don't do anything, so why bother? No, you have to start somewhere. Obviously, you want to get to the point that you're doing it for the sake of the mitzvah, but I can assure you that most people don't do it in that level. It's not easy to do it for the actual sake of the mitzvah. You do it either because you're afraid of the reaction, you're afraid of the punishment, not you, but the person, or you want to get the reward, or you're thinking of your reward, or some guy now, we're in touch with each other. One of my students, and he now emailed me a couple of days ago. He's like, look, I have to be on Hashem's good side because something big is happening. I need, as many good points. What can I do? He was looking to grab all sorts of mitzvahs to get on Hashem's good side. So it's exactly what you're saying. He didn't necessarily do the mitzvah to get the reward of the mitzvah, but he did the mitzvah because it needed to help him on the other side. So I told him, look, if you think now you're going to donate some money and run to do this and this and this, it will help you there. I don't know. Maybe it will. But this is exactly to do the mitzvah for the sake of the reward. I'm running to do this to get on Hashem's good side. Unfortunately, most people are not so sophisticated that they're like, no, I'm doing it for the sake of the mitzvah. But if you have to start somewhere. You have to start, even if it seems like superficial and mellow, because our sages say, "Amaseh hu ha'ikar." The act is the most important. Somebody told me the other day, I was in a lecture, somebody came, ooh, big words, was throwing all sorts of Kabbalistic terms, and I learned this, and I learned that, maybe you like him, he learns Zohar, he learns this, that. I'm joking. But the bottom line, he wasn't even wearing tzitzit, he wasn't wearing a yarmulke. I told him, what's the point? If you're learning all this mysticism, and it didn't hit the nail on the head that you're not doing the actual mitzvah, what do you think, you're Rashbi? You think you are Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, that you can do everything in your mind? What are you trying to impress me? What are you doing? No, I learned this and I learned that. I told him, if it didn't affect you to actually do the mitzvah, so you're learning the king's commandment and you're not doing it, so what's the point? So he's like, no, I'm still not in the level. And what do you mean you're still not in the level? If the creator of the world told you to wear tzitzit, don't go and study what Kabbalah explains what's tzitzit. Put the tzitzit. Hamaseh hu ha'ikar. Do the bottom line. Don't go and fly in universes to learn all the mysticism behind the mitzvah. You want to learn that? Adrabah, go ahead. But first do the actual tachlis. So if you're doing it for fear, from the sake of a reward, for whatever, start with that. Do the minimum first. You do starting like this, eventually you will start doing it because you understand, or you love, or you want. Most people, they find a loophole why not to do. Oh, because I'm not doing it really 100% for the sake of the mitzvah, so I don't want to be caught as a hypocrite. That's what a lot of people tell me. I don't want to be a hypocrite because I'm really not. Somebody told me not too long ago, I don't put tefillin on because I heard that if you say Kriyat Shema and you don't really believe, you're a hypocrite. Told him, what? Guarantee 99.9 of the Jewish men that put tefillin, they do not have the right kavanah when they say Shema. Guarantee.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know anyone that has the right kavanah? Kavanah, I mean Kabbalah, the kavanot shel Arizal, what they explain. Nobody. You think somebody can do it? We put it because we don't understand. Can we understand what's tefillin? We put it because Hashem told us, "Ukshartem leot al yadecha veletotafot ben einecha." Most men, I can guarantee you, I know very few people, big mikubalim, that they really know the kavanah of the Shema Yisrael. So I told him, and so what? Everybody's doing it. They're all hypocrite. No. First, do the act. First, do it like a slave, like a boss. The boss told you do. Put tefillin on. Put tefillin on. Then ask questions. That's what the Jews did in Har Sinai. Naseh v'nishma. First of all, tell us. They will do what you tell us. Then we'll listen to the pnimiyut Torah. Why? So I find it that when people find all sorts of like loopholes to stop from doing a mitzvah, it's just an excuse why not to do the mitzvah. But the bottom line, that most of us, we're simple Jews, we're simple people, we don't really do it for the sake of the mitzvah. I don't know many people that are like, wow, I'm going to do this now. Either we do it, people who were born religious, they do it robotically. There's no kavanah in it. There's no soul in the mitzvah. Either they're doing it because they're afraid. Somebody told them, if you don't do it, you're going to go to Genom, they're going to barbecue there without barbecue sauce. And they're like, paranoid, so they do it. Very hard to climb to the point that you're like, wow, I'm really serving Hashem because I love Hashem so much. And that's a very high level to reach to a point that every little thing you have the mamash, the intention of doing it because Hashem wants you to do it. It's not easy. But one cannot take it as an excuse by saying, oh, I'm not really doing it the right way, so I don't need to do it. Like the guy who was telling me, I'm not really doing it, the tefillin, because I don't know what to think of when I'm doing it. Shulchan Aruch says that if you have tefillin on your head, you can't think of anything, machshavot, anything. So one can say, oh, my mind is not so pure, and I'm thinking of all sorts of things, and half the people in the world, while they pray, they play with their phone. Your mind is not on the tefillin, so technically one can say, you shouldn't put the tefillin on. So what, we're not going to do it? We're not going to put the tefillin on? So the thing is that, what?
I'm thinking maybe.
No,
Maybe they
no,
shouldn't.
no. The thing is that,
They're that bad.
no, the thing is that at this point,
Unless it straightens them out, unless it helps them get straighter.
the thing is that in this point in our generation, people are spiritually weak, and Hashem doesn't expect us to be these tzaddikim and like be pure and holy. So even if you do the mitzvah, lo lishma, you do it. You know how many people do mitzvahs because the community around them, they'll ask questions, why didn't you show up to shul? You know how many people I know that they come to pray every day, 3 times a day, because they don't want the community asking them, where were you yesterday? Why didn't you show up? So it's just, they come and... So you can't judge anyone. Some people, they don't have it, maybe at the time of their life, they're not into doing it with all their heart. The point is that if a person lets go and doesn't do anything because he says, I don't have the real kavanah, the real thought and the intention, so that's just an excuse to get out of it. Even if you don't have the intention, if you're not doing it the most perfect way, first do it. First grab the mitzvah. Because when you do it, you have a greater chance of actually learning, acquiring the love for it, and then doing it really for the cause, for the sake of the mitzvah. But we don't need to be so sophisticated. We're simple people. Hashem just wants us to do the basics without too much kavanot. People get too caught up with all the sophisticated things. They're missing the point. Amaseh hu ha'ikar. Do the act.
When you
What is
start,
kavanot? What is kavanot?
Kavanah is having the thought, to have the intention. It's not exactly intention. Kavanah is that, I'll give you an example. If you take now a gun or a rifle and you have a bullseye and you want to hit the exact point you want to hit. So you have the, how do you say kavenet? Not the target,
Direction?
no, on the rifle or on the gun, exactly, there's like how you aim.
crosshair?
Whatever, whatever term it is. Aiming is lechaven. On the gun itself,
The sight.
you'll have like the tool that helps you aim,
The sight.
right? So if I want to hit exactly that point, I have to lechaven. I have to,
Sight, it's a general one.
Yeah.
Sight.
I have to aim. So the same thing, and if I aim the right way, I'll hit exactly where I want to hit. Okay? Same thing in the spiritual level. You have to aim where your mitzvah goes. Because I can do a mitzvah and it goes the wrong way. Now, did I do the mitzvah? I did it. But our sages say if you did the mitzvah without the kavanah, without aiming, it's like a body without a soul. You did the mitzvah, but it's not 100%. So he was asking, like, is it good to do the mitzvah? But I'm not doing it. I'm not really aiming. I'm doing it for the wrong cause. Yeah, do the mitzvah. But the aiming is, that's what I was telling him. We're such a low-level generation. Nobody in our generation really has the right aiming to know. Sages, the Arizal, many others, they taught us what are the kavanot, the aiming. Nobody really does it. And if somebody tells you he does it, I met very few people that really know how to do it. But the kavanah is if you want to hit something the right way, you have to really aim good. The question is, did I do the mitzvah the right way? Maybe not 100%. So the same way a person wants to give charity. Some people want to give charity because it's tax deductible. Is this the right aim? No, but they still did the mitzvah. But it's not 100% the aim. Same thing with anything else. Helping another person, I can help another person. Maybe I'll get protectia, how do you call it? I'll get a good word in. I'll help this person. Around that, when I'll need, I scratched your back, one day you'll scratch my back. So really, I really did the mitzvah of helping. I did the act, but not the right intention. So it's not 100%. Now to really have pure intention in everything that you do, that's not so easy. So, but kavanah is not necessarily the intention, more like the aim where you want to hit. But this is kind of going a little bit off the subject. The point is that many people in our generation, either they do the mitzvah because they're afraid of their whatever is going to happen in the afterlife, after they're afraid of, how do you say here, peer pressure? Peer pressure? I'm not going to show up to shul. My neighbors are going to tell me, where were you yesterday? Where were you yesterday? Why didn't you come? I'm not going to show up to the class. Why didn't you come? Some people are like, oh, fadicha. I have to, what are they going to say in my community if I didn't come to shacharit? So they do it because and a lot of people do many things, either because they want the reward. Oh, I heard that if I do this mitzvah in Gan Eden, I'll get a big reward, so I want to do it. So it's a lower level of serving Hashem, but many people find this as a loophole, and they say, oh, since I'm not doing it 100%, so better not to do it, because I'm a hypocrite. No, you still have to do it, because from doing it not with the right intention, maybe you'll slowly grow to do it with the right intention. And if you don't do it at all, then you'll end up, losing the mitzvah completely, and better sometimes doing a little bit than nothing. And if you don't do it at all, then it will just get you further away.
קצת מוזיקה, זה טוב. רגע אחד.
חזק וברוך.
המוזיקה מחברת השמיים.
הופה. המוזיקה פותחת את כל הסתימות שבלב.
בדיוק ככה.